Just wanted to give a quick update on my 2020 Ninja 1000 SX. You can kind of tell I pulled all of the stickers off of it, with the exception of the Ninja and the 1000 SX. I think Kawasaki always does a good job of taking a bike that looks really good and then covering it with stickers. It's just not my taste. It's not something I gravitate towards. I usually pull most of the stickers off of most of the bikes that I have, but that's just personal preference. I've got just under 1,000 miles. I did my first service myself, which was pretty standard. I'm pretty sure He-Man puts the oil filters on these bikes from the factory. Actually, they're not really tight. They're just, I don't think they put any oil between the rubber seal and the mating surface for the oil filter, so it's very hard to take off. But that was about it. I just changed the oil, adjusted the chain. There's no throttle cable end plate to check because there's no throttle cables. Checked the clutch cable, didn't really need adjusting. Everything else was fine. Looked at the oil. Oil looked pretty standard fare for a bike with less than 600 miles on it. The seat feels good. Everything feels comfortable. Everything's tight. The tires are starting to show some wear, which is, I guess, I've never really had good luck with OEM tires. They tend to go away pretty quickly, but I really, really like the tires. I'm not a huge Bridgestone fan. I'm more of a, not really a tire that I don't like. I've never had good luck with Bridgestones lasting any amount of time. Michelins tend to get about 30-40% better usage or better mileage out of them. My mileage is estimated, if I'm riding like a jerk, I get high 30s. If I'm being a responsible adult, low 40s. If I'm just on the highway cruising, mid to upper 40s. I've really grown to love and hate the quick shifter. I use it all the time. This is the first bike I've ever had with a quick shifter, and I am constantly using it. I've had some false neutrals with it. Well, actually, I actually hit neutral. I don't mean false neutral. I mean, I've actually gone from second to first, and it's gotten stuck in neutral, which if you're riding a pretty tight technical road and you need to get down into first, if it goes into neutral and you lose your engine braking, which causes the bike to stand up, which is not an ideal situation. I've had a few instances where it's upshifted from 5th to 6th, and then I don't know if I'm not deliberately shifting enough, or if I'm not putting enough deliberate effort into shifting, or my foot somehow touches it, but I've had it go from 6th back down to 5th right after shifting from 5th to 6th. It's probably me getting used to the quick shifter, but it is not perfect. It's very good, but again, it's not perfect. The cruise control is something that I didn't really think I was going to use, and I use it all the freaking time. That is going to be a major decision when buying my next bike as to whether or not it has cruise control. 20-year-old me would probably slap 46-year-old me for saying that, but it's amazing how much more comfortable, and how you can just not pay attention to you can just pay attention to what's going on around you. You don't have to constantly babysit the throttle, because you go from 60 to 80 without really having to give it any gas. I mean, these bikes are so fast and so smooth that speeding is a deliberate effort not to do. That's really about it. It's been great. The headlights are good. I think the headlights on my Concours 1400 were better despite being halogen. These are LED, but the headlights are good. They've got a definite line where most LED headlights are like. You've got a definite cutoff where the light stops, but the high beams are really good. So I guess that's just the nature of those lights. I added a Solocal, which you can clearly see there. It's a factory Kawasaki Solocal. Of course, they send you a box with all the parts. You get to build it yourself. It's not really a big deal. It's pretty easy to do. I've probably put, 4 or 5 of them together over the years, and they're all the same. I noticed that Akrapovic has the pipe released for this bike, but I can't get it in the US so far. I could order it from Italy, but I'm still waiting for a US distributor. Not opposed to ordering it from Italy. It's just, I'd rather do it from, you know, an online retailer or the local shop. It's just, I feel better about that. The Kawasaki accessory site also has a taller windscreen available, which it's starting to get kind of warm out. I'm looking more towards getting just a tinted one. I think it would make the bike look a bit better. The exhaust is, well, the exhaust is the exhaust. Not a huge fan of the way it looks, but it does the job. But otherwise, everything has been tight and good, and I have no complaints whatsoever. This is actually was a really solid buy. Glad to have had the opportunity to buy one. Suspension is very plush. It's great. The display, the honeymoon's over with the display. I like it. It's just not, oh wow, cool. You know, it's not a big wow factor anymore. But I do like it. It works well. That's about all I got. Ride safe.